Hello everyone, welcome back to Baskar Breaks. Baskar here, and today I'm going to be reviewing a newer LEGO Star Wars set. This is the Boba Fett's Throne Room set. This is based off of the Mandalorian Season 2 post-credit scene that announced the Book of Boba Fett TV show. So today we are going to be analyzing this set, going through all of it, going through all of its minifigures to find out if this is really worth the high $100 price point. Alright, so we're going to start off with the watchtower here on this section. I'm going to try to go through this a little bit quickly because it is a pretty large model. The first play feature is that you can turn this knob and it will make the stairs move, which can propel a minifigure forward, simulating that they got shot. Some additional details is, the cup, the console, and also the door, but we'll take a look at the door in a little bit in full, more detail. Oh, sorry, I'm going to hit the camera. We have some binoculars and one spot to put a minifigure up there. Kind of disappointing. That is the only studs right there that they've given you to place a minifigure up there in the watchtower, which kind of sucks, but move over here to the main room of sorts. This is the throne here, which I'm going to take a look at the throne in another angle because this is kind of a little bit head on here. So I'm going to remove that real quick so I can give you a better look at what's going on inside here. Now, right under the throne, once you pull it out, you have some accessories. You have some blasters in here. You have 2 blasters, and along with what appears to be Beskar ingots. So it looks like Bib Fortuna is hiding some Beskar under there. You have some food being burnt here, being cooked, I should say. You can rotate that, and just other various details in here. You have some crates and stuff, some other just kind of things in there, some details. And places to put minifigures in here. You have the last room here, which doesn't have any, action features here. But there are 2 places to put minifigures and some beverages. This is like a bar of sorts. Not a bar, but like a place to sit and have refreshments. What I like most about this room is that it's very simple inside. So you can really make use of the space that's in here. But you can also easily remove everything that's in here and turn it into whatever room you like. Like, if you somehow, changed this room where you make it that Jabba could be in there, which would need to quite a bit of modifications, you could make that like where Han Solo is, his carbonite. One more thing to talk about. So up here, there is actually some space up there where you could put a minifigure, but additionally you saw that there's this crate. What this crate actually has 2 thermal detonators. There is a 3rd extra one in the set, and there's some thermal detonators, which is a cool piece to have. This is actually my first time ever owning LEGO thermal detonators, and it's kind of a cool, nice use of space up there. And with that out of the way, let's just go on to the back of the model. Alright, so let's start off with this side of the fortress. This is the entrance, and this is where the turret here is. That's on a ball joint, which can be rotated, and here's the door. There's the little droid that can come out, and you can just kind of push that in, pull it out, and what you want to do here is that you take that, and then you can lift up the door, and now the door's open. The door is up here, but I don't really mind that, as where else would the door go? But the door, what you're supposed to do is stick that out again. It's just supposed to stay there, but there is so much friction in here is that even when you remove it, it just stays there, which is a little bit of a shame. I wish it would be able to fall on its own. I think it'd feel better, it'd play better, but there are some good places to put minifigures there though. I'm sorry you couldn't really see that. And here is the back of this model. Now, there's a little old school snake here. I'm going to try to open this. I will say, I tried to make this review a few times, one of which failed because I grabbed this with one hand and actually a large chunk of this did come off. And so I always find this a little bit fragile, this section, especially doing it on camera here. Oh, yeah. You see, I'll get to how this looks kind of in the overview with it. Alright, but this does give us a little bit of a better look here into the interior side of things, and this can open up. And what I will say, one of my biggest complaints with the set is that, oddly, those grill tiles right there, they shouldn't use a texture brick because now you can't put minifigures back here. But there is some nice additional detail back there, I suppose. Close that up, and overall, it looks pretty good on the back, but an odd choice is the bar. An odd choice here was to use that dark red. Doesn't look too great to me. You have a ladder though, but that's just about the build. Let's get on to the minifigs. Alright, really quickly I talk about the throne. This has this kind of big piece sticking out, just to represent a Rancor pit. There's some stickers on it. Some little bit details around here. So basically what the main thing of this is that you place a minifigure on here and then you can pull this lever and you can see that bit comes up, which will knock the minifigure out of the chair. So you can simulate Bib Fortuna being shot, falling onto the floor, and Boba going on the throne. That's just about it, but that's kind of a cool piece. So, yep, just really quickly wanted to show you this. Let's get on to the minifigs. Alright, minifigs time. So the lighting might be a little bit different. That's because there's some very dark torso printing on some of these minifigures, like this guy, for example, and just need a little bit extra light to show you. So I would like to give some attention to this amazing headpiece here. I think it just looks so fluent. It looks so realistic. And it's actually made out of a very hard plastic. It's not like a soft rubbery plastic, which I feel like I would expect this head mold to be. Sorry, this headpiece to be made in. So the Leku's done very well, and there is some of his torso printing there. A little bit harder to see, but better than it was before, trust me. There's his head. He looks very menacing, and overall a very good figure. Yes, he is very fat. Objectively, maybe he shouldn't have been in minifigure scale. He should probably not have been a minifigure to be the most accurate, but I feel like that it's best for him to be a minifigure so he can interact with all the minifigure things. Here is Boba Fett. Of course, this is him in his Mandalorian era attire here. Now, I've seen a lot of complaints about how his helmet and his jetpack are the wrong color, which, yes, they are, especially if you look at his torso. It's absolutely the wrong color, but honestly, I don't mind. I love Boba Fett, so I just geek out a bunch about this figure, and I don't really care about that, but but that is definitely something that needs to be said, that his helmet and his jetpack definitely are the wrong color. But besides that, this is a cool minifig, and I really do like the head print on this guy. I think that's done very well, though. Alright, next minifigure is my favorite. This is the Thielen Dancer. She does have a canonical name, but don't know it off the top of my head. What's so cool about this minifigure? Not only does she already look great, have an awesome hairpiece. I mean, this is already on its own a very detailed minifigure. And this is my favorite minifigure in the set. And let me see if I can get this on camera. It's hard to see, but do you see all of those little patterns? Now they're gone. You can't see them anymore. But yep, oh, shine it. Oh, yep, there they are. So what Lego did here, they printed white on white. So when you hold her to the light in a certain way, there are like all these secret patterns that show up. It is really cool. Way more detailed than she needs to be. Here's Moonlord's cousin here, a very cool looking minifigure. Now he has the more rubbery feel that I expected Bib to have. You can probably hear by the squeaking. There's his torso printing. My one really complaint about this guy is how that white right there is not as opaque as it should be down there. But besides that, this is a good looking fig, and I'm very happy to have Moonlord's cousin. That's a great species. Next we have a guard here. So I'm forgetting the name. Is it Weequay? You might be getting that wrong. I'm not going to try to pronounce it any further. Guard, and this has some really nice printing. No leg printing. I don't think he needs it. It's a, it feels like a very Jabba-esque minifigure. So this is definitely a cool one to have, and one of the more exciting ones for me, this is the Gamorrean Guard. My only other Gamorrean Guard is from the year 2006. So I'm so happy to have him. I think the printing, the mold on here is all fantastic. I don't see us realistically needing to ask Lego of a better Gamorrean Guard. So just a fantastic looking minifigure. And now we have the only objectively bad minifigure, in my opinion, Fennec Shand, just because of one of two reasons. One, they did not include her helmet, a huge miss. And three, that's not a good hairpiece. Break Chick 101, when I was voting this live, shout out to her, told me that this is actually a friend's hairpiece too. So that just is a bad decision for Fennec Shand. But besides that, she looks incredible. I'm going to take away her accessory just so you can see her dark printing a little bit better there. I mean, her printing, though, otherwise is, I think, fantastic. Great facial expressions. Just otherwise, besides the hair, a good minifigure. And now that we're done with the minifigures, done with the build, let's get on to the overview. Alright, so after, really going over the set, I've looked at it for a good over a week now, I think, taking it all in, and looking at this, seeing, is it really worth that $100 price point? Honestly, I think objectively it's not worth the $100 price point. I don't think the value here is high enough for the $100 price point. I will say it was a lot bigger than I expected. but it still doesn't exactly feel $100 worth. But if I would have bought this for $100, I don't think I would have felt ripped off. So it just kind of depends on what, you know, you prefer. And I did forget to mention one thing, is that these can be articulated here. That is something I forgot to miss in the bulk of the review, so my apologies, but I'm not going to go back and film that. I'm just going to do that now. But that's not, you know, I'm sure most of you already knew that feature anyway. So, but there's a lot of good value here. I think probably my biggest compliment to this set, I think it does a great job at balancing play value and display value. I think there's a lot of great places to put minifigures, to play with minifigures. There's some good play features integrated, but also not only does, you know, having a lot of great places to put minifigures add to the display value, but none of the play features are like screaming at you. There's no like huge red levers with an arrow saying pull this, you know, turn this. All the play features are very well hidden. They're very well masked in the set. Everything here looks right. Everything here feels right. Overall, I feel like this is a good success besides the price. And honestly, the minifigures here, besides Fennec Shand and maybe Boba Fett's armor, depending on how picky you are, I think the minifigs here are really, really great. I think a lot of them may have some value in the future. So if you're someone who sees Lego a lot in the lens of future value in minifigures and the set, this might, I would guess that this set is going to have quite a bit of value. Moving on. In terms of criticisms, besides the price, not including a hairpiece for Fennec is definitely a big miss here. I don't know how much more I could have asked for in terms of what we got. Of course, maybe a little bit more room up here to place some minifigures. I can't really think of too many large complaints that I have here, because I think this is just a good set. So at least where I live, I've been seeing this going on sale a little bit. So if you see this on sale and, you know, you have the cash laying around, you don't have this set already, you're not on a huge budget, I think this set is worth pulling, you know, getting, especially if you're in a minifigure. So that, everyone, that's going to end off today's review of Boba Fett's Throne Room. If you enjoyed the video, I appreciate you coming this far into the video. And of course, maybe consider subscribing to the channel. I built this live in a YouTube live stream. I've been doing this recently, so if you want to try to catch those, make sure you, of course, hit the notification bell. I don't really say that, but maybe it's good to say every now and then. With that, everyone, I do hope to see you in my next video.